back by Wild Bird Creative. I have my gel plate here and my Distress Oxide Spray in Saltwater Taffy. And I'm just going to start my background combining a couple of details, images. I want a nice simple background, so let me get some water on here too. And I'll just lift it up a little bit, and I'm going to turn it sideways so that it fits in the screen a little bit better for you. And I have just a plain old piece of paper here, and I'm just going to tap it down. You can see I'm getting some lovely lines and images, kind of like looking at clouds. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that aside for a second. And let's grab just some spray stain. This is broken china. Just put a little bit on there and come in and do the same thing again. And this time I might even lay it right down on there. And lift it slowly up. Let's see, I've still got more on this gel plate, which is nice because you can keep going back in, turning your paper, looking at it, seeing what you like, what you want to change. A little bit down here, I think, in this corner. And I'm going to be able to get a couple pieces out of this if I want to divide it in half. I'm not sure yet. I've got to let this dry, obviously. So let me just put a piece of junk paper on this to clean this up. Hit this with my little Mighty Mike heat gun, and I'll be right back. Here we are. It's all dried, and I just got up the excess on this security envelope. So I just have some color on top of this irregular crosshatch pattern for a future piece. I've got my chalk pastel, and I just want to come in and just add an extra color here and there. Just brightening up a few of these spots with this nice peachy color. I think I am going to cut this in half. So let's grab my trimmer. And just go, let's see, right about there. I've got stuff in the way. I need to clean up my space again. Let's just put it, I've got two pieces. Two for the price of one. And what I could do is I could make them similar. I could do two entirely separate pieces, each on their own when I feel like it. It doesn't really matter. You know, kind of follow your heart on this. The next thing I want to do is just add some stamps. And I've got a few colors here. I think I'm going to start with pink. And I don't want these to be super bold. I want them to rest in the background just as detail. Just having some fun placing things here and there. Do the same thing on this one. There's no wrong way to do it. Let's get one more in here. Let's turn him the other way. That off, and then put the lid on this. Grab this little one that's very tiny, but the same basic little configuration of numbers. Get it on my block, and let's use my speckled egg. And oh, that's so nice and light against that. I love that. Same thing with this one. Move you over to the side a little bit. And it's just a tiny bit of interest, just in the different spots, in a similar color tone. So let me set that aside, and let's bring in iced spruce this time. And I'm going to go right off the edge there, because things don't have to be perfectly in a spot. Oh, that one didn't have enough on. Let's do that again. So there we go. There are my backgrounds. Get all these stacked to the side now. And let's start talking about how we want to layer these up. What do we want to add? There's so many options. I'm thinking I want to continue a little more with this circle theme. So let me grab, got a couple options. I do have this paper, but I think what I want is a couple other options that are bigger and bolder. There we go. Pull out my whole drawer of tricks. And this time we're going to use an ink pad that the color is called Shady. I'm just going to put this in. It makes such a delicate pattern, but it's really cool. And I mean, you can get these little pieces of pipe insulation at any hardware store. You might even have some already lying around in your cellar just waiting to be used. Let's put another one right there in that corner. Okay. A little stack of things that need to be picked up and washed. Always important to keep track of things so that you don't accidentally leave stuff with glues or paints drying on them. Okay, I want to bring in my pink again and just add just this spatter in a couple spots just for interest. Again, this is all just having fun with layers. So what do you think we ought to put on this? We can go very bold. We can add, of course, music. And this music has green on one side and rust on the other. We can add yellows. We can add pieces of books. Got so many options that sometimes it can be hard to narrow it down to just one or two. Kind of thinking maybe the thing to do is just these raggedy bits of paper. Not sure yet, though. Not sure. Still working, still thinking it through. This one's actually folded, so I'm going to have to be careful with that so that it doesn't just fall apart. I'm going to make this one a little shorter. I like that one there. Let's shorten you a little bit if I can get my nails under here. There we go. I've got a little tiny box here with just odds and ends in it. Sometimes when I get to the end of a project, I just sort of toss the remnants in because I'm not sure what I want to do with them. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'll have a project and they will be exactly what I'm looking for. You never know when that's going to be. Sometimes you have to dig through a lot of stuff. There's so much to do when you're making mixed media. So that doesn't have anything else that I really want to put in here. That's kind of nice. Tucked behind there, and I know I have that book. I see it over here. I think it's this one. Yes, it is. Boy, if I can find a part that actually has a page left in it. I've almost gone through all of this. Set that aside, and let's do the edges off this. Make this a little bit neater. It didn't tear beautifully. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be putting it behind stuff, but still, I don't want it to be too raggedy. Okay, so there's our start. It will not take long to put this together. Put the Italian piece down first. Right along there. Carefully with this one, it's got the crease in it. The glue stick on there. This happens to be from an old discarded copy of a Jane Austen book. I think it might be Emma. Not positive though. There we go. Got the piece with the Italian. Right along there. Let me do this one, shift him over a tiny, tiny bit. Just want him, there we go. This. And you can see how quickly it's coming together. It's really kind of nice when it happens this quickly. What are you thinking? Stamps next? I've got so many. I have bags and bags of stamps. I think what I'll do is dump them out, pick a few, and come back. Okay, we're back. I've got a couple more scraps I want to add. I was lucky when I picked up my stamps, when I dumped them out. The perfect ones fell out right there, like they were just waiting for this project. Love when that happens. All I'm doing is I'm just giving a little bit of color to the edge of this, just to have it stand out a little bit. This is, again, just another piece from an old book. A lot of people hate using book pages, but once the binding is gone, this is one of the nice ways of getting another use out of it. There we go. Let's do the same one for the other side. Bought myself some new stamp pads because my other ones, man, I've had them so many years. My children were little when I got them. For the most case, I got some about 5 years ago, but a lot of the other ones they grew up with, and I really can't ask much more of an ink pad that has never been re-inked than to last that long. Okay, let's do this one this way. And look at these great stamps. They're the same yet different. So now I've got to decide which one is going to go where. So I'm going to maybe move them around a little bit. Maybe not. I may like where they land first time. Let's see. Yep, kind of like that one. Like that. And this one, I like the little cancellation marks over here. So there we are. They are stuck down. Let's grab a pencil and just do a little bit of scribble writing in spots. Just adding another bit of detail. It's a nice way. You can do many different things. If you want to do some stitching, you can hand stitch or pull out your old sewing machine. You can do more stamping. It's really up to you. That's the nicest thing about mixed media. It's all up to you. And you can see I'm holding this really loosely and way up high. And that way I can just let it flow. Put the cover right on this. And I think I'm going to bring in, I've got a little date stamp. I don't know if you remember these from maybe when you were young. Those of you that are more from the typewriter era will probably recognize them. And all I'm going to do is just quickly stamp. I'm not even worried about if it is legible. Again, this is just for detail. Just breaking things up a little bit. Giving things a little more worn look than they had before. And there we go. I am pleased with these. I think this ended up being around 20 minutes. Sorry it's longer than normal. But look, we've made 2 little tiny pieces. A lot of steps, a little bit of mess, but it's all good. Pull out your supplies instead of watching the game. Have some fun. Don't bother watching all those ads that want you to buy things you don't need. You can see them tomorrow on the news if you watch the news, or you can see them online. Make some time for yourself so you can relax, get messy, get sticky, use your supplies, and create. Remember, speak kindly to yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back for all that you are able to get done in your busy, busy life. That's all you can do is tell yourself, I've done the best I could each night. I got done what I could get done. Everything else can wait. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. Wild Bird Creative.